Back in the year 2013, Microsoft canceled a Halo game where you could build with Mega Bloks, drive a toy Scorpion tank, and blast plastic Covenant. But then they tried to erase it from history, and they actually failed to do that. You're watching Gaming Logistics, where curiosity powers the player. And today, I'll show you how you can play the lost Halo game that they didn't want you to see. Halo Mega Bloks began life in early 2013 at a Florida-based game studio called N-Space. Founded in 1994 by ex-aerospace engineers, N-Space built a reputation for handling licensed handheld and console games, including Call of Duty and Marvel Ultimate Alliance on Nintendo DS and Geist on GameCube, just to name a few. Their game library was actually a decently large size. The studio partnered with Mega Brands, the company behind Mega Bloks, and at the time, the studio known as 343 Industries. The goal was to reach younger gamers with simplified third-person Halo gameplay in a kid-friendly sandbox. The codename was Project Haggar, a possible nod to Mike Haggar from the Final Fight games. It kinda makes sense, a strongman brawler in a building game punching aliens. Mike Haggar could be seen as a Halo Spartan to some people. The game ran on Unreal Engine 3 and featured multiple missions, co-op, base building, and classic Halo-style vehicles. Project Haggar was surprisingly far along for a prototype, but in late 2013, Microsoft scrapped it. The Xbox One was launching, and Project Haggar was stuck on the Xbox 360. It didn't make the jump. 343 Industries head Bonnie Ross was quoted saying that the game had fun ideas and invention behind it, but ultimately it didn't progress beyond the early prototyping levels that are shown. N-Space tried to pivot it into a new intellectual property called Backyard Heroes, but the funding never came. In the year 2016, N-Space would close its doors forever due to financial struggles. There was no Halo Mega Bloks trailer, no gameplay, and no press release. It just disappeared. Until 2017, when a prototype build leaked online, and 343's Bonnie Ross confirmed it was real. In Project Haggar, you control a Mega Bloks-style Master Chief from a third-person perspective. Movement is fluid but a little floaty, and aiming feels magnetic, snapping toward enemies almost like an arcade shooter. The main mechanic blends Halo with building blocks. When you defeat enemies, they drop pieces that can be used to construct cover, turrets, or even small vehicles, adding a creative twist to combat. You can drop bubble shields, pick up various weapons, and have fun driving the toy Scorpion tanks and mongooses. Or mongooses? I think we all decided on mongooses. Local co-op is baked in, but not menu-driven. If two controllers are connected, you press the start button on the second controller to spawn in the co-op partner. You and your partner tag team the action, playing through the missions and completing objectives. Somehow, somewhere, there is what's called a besieged mode, which is almost like Firefight, just wave after wave of Covenant enemies and power-ups. There's no direct way to trigger this mode. Some sources online state that it just triggers randomly while playing the campaign, with co-op enabled. Other sources say that you have to go into the game files and mess with scripts to trigger it. The mechanics of the game also include assassination-style animations when attacking enemies from behind, but they're incredibly janky and don't behave like they're supposed to. Enemies might stiffen mid-animation, ragdoll out of sync, or even warp across the screen while you're delivering a finishing blow. Physics are usually unpredictable. It's part proof of concept, part sandbox, and part beautiful mess, but that's what gives Haggar its charm. And if you'd like to get to this little kind of secret menu of the Haggar logo and this music in the background, it's pretty decent music. You just have to press the start button on your controller and choose to save and quit to the main menu, and then you're just stuck here to listen to it, because if you press A, the game freezes and you can't do anything and you have to start over anyway. So press the start button, throw on the menu, and just chill out to the music. Next, I'll show you what you need to be able to play it and where to get the files to do so. To get started playing Project Haggar with the best results possible, you need three things. First, you're going to need a Windows 10 or newer machine with a decent CPU and GPU. The game can run on an Xbox 360 dev kit build, but I won't be covering that in this video. Check out this screenshot from the README file for more information, and pause the video now if you need to take a look. Second, you need a USB or Bluetooth connected controller. The mouse and keyboard do not work with the Xenia emulator included in the Project Haggar download. And third, you'll need to download a utility called 7-Zip. It's a free file extractor. It zips files more efficiently and into a smaller size than standard .zip files. So I'm going to break everything down for you here, starting with the 7-Zip utility download. Head over to 7zip.org, and right here I'm going to click download for the machine that I have, Windows 64-bit, and just save it as to the desktop for easy access later. And once it's here, double click it to open it up, or you can right click and run as an admin, but install it to the default destination just to make things as easy as possible. Next, go to tinyurl.com/gaminglogistics. The link will be in the description. And right on the home page here, I compiled everything into one easy folder download for you. There'll be more there later as I make more videos. But here it just tells you that it can't scan for viruses because it's so big. Just click on download anyway. You can trust me. And just save it to the desktop again for easy access. Let it download because it is still pretty big even though it's been 7-zipped, so give it a minute. Next, right click and choose extract all, and just choose the default destination again to keep things simple. Now once you open it up, you'll see that there's two folders and a readme file. This readme file, I went through and cleaned it up a little bit just so that it's a little easier to read and digest. But later on in the video, I'll show you where to go get the original files from the Discord server if you want to go over there and show them some love. So next, you want to go into the emulator folder. You'll see the Xenia Canary executable. Right click and run as admin. And what you want to do next is go to File, Open, and choose the .xex from the Games Files folder. That's an Xbox executable file. I choose Allow right here for public and private network access. And once you get this loaded, it's going to take a while, but soon on the bottom right here, you'll see the little loading circle eventually pop up. You will finally be loaded into the main menu of the game that's available here in these game files, in this version that I'm showing you. Before you leave this video and start playing, you have to remember that this game is full of bugs and other issues because it's an unreleased prototype. So next, I'll give you a list of bugs and known workarounds from the README file using the development menu inside the game. As soon as you spawn into the game, you won't be able to move. This is where your USB or Bluetooth controller comes in. Again, I have a product link in the description if you'd like to pick up a cheap one to keep around for things like this. Press select on the controller to open the development menu, then toggle the ghost walk on and then back off. Now you'll be able to start moving and jumping around just like a classic Halo Spartan. Another persistent bug is that you'll often get stuck running, perma-running, or permanently running even when you're not touching the controller. Another way to fix this is to open the dev menu with the select button on your controller and choose to basically get killed by the Guardians, a classic death in the early Halo games. Eventually in the story of the game, you'll be tasked with building a warthog from the game's building mechanic. Do not do it. It'll instantly freeze the game and you have to start over. You can choose to build a Scorpion tank and the Mongoose though. These work just fine. It's the same thing with the development menu. Inside the development menu you can spawn vehicles. The Warthog still doesn't work, but I have read online that there are ways around this somehow. I just don't know the secret to show you in this video. One of the development menu items that does seem to work most of the time is completing the block construction while you're in the building mechanic. You don't have to place any blocks to use this dev menu option, but I have had it backfire on me to where I was left with the building mechanic menu overlay stuck on my screen. I tried to do anything I could think of to get the overlay to disappear, but I had to eventually just close the game and start over to remove it. Another cool development menu item that works pretty well is the kill AI option. You usually have to hit it twice or even 3 times to finish off the elites and hunters. That leads into another working dev menu option, which is the option to complete simple objectives. This can still backfire if done at the wrong time and make you stuck, unable to do anything except close the game and start over. If you do ever find yourself stuck and unable to pass certain areas, you can use the ghost walk toggle to pass through barriers and other places within the game. It's cool to break barriers like the classic Halo games and get a sort of behind the scenes look at how N-Space was developing the levels and the areas. It reminds me of Theater Mode and Forge when it first released in Halo 3, being able to fly around and explore without too many kill barriers in your way. I'm sure there are a lot more bugs and workarounds not mentioned here, so you'll just have to jump in and start playing to explore and get a feel for what this game could have been. But first, keep watching to really prepare yourself one last time before you take the leap into Halo Mega Bloks. Wait. Project Haggar shows us where Halo almost went. A game for younger fans. Something casual, creative, and fun. It got cancelled, but thanks to fans preserving it, this piece of Halo's alternate timeline is playable today. If you would like to join the original Discord server that dedicates itself to preserving and archiving pre-release Halo builds and 3D assets, just search up the Reclamation Initiative Discord server. I'll also have a direct link in the description. If you're new to Discord, you can create an account or just simply log in. Once you're inside of the server, you'll see over here on the left that there is a Halo Mega Bloks text channel. Inside of this channel, you'll find the original download with the original folders and files inside. Remember, I just cleaned some things up with the folders and README file to make it easier for you, my viewer, to access and play this awesome piece of history. If you're into the logistics of gaming, like deep dives into canceled projects, classic glitches, franchise history, and how games are made, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below which deep dive you'd like to see next. This is Gaming Logistics, where curiosity powers the player.